Welcome to C2 Administration and Configuration. In this video, we will create a server farm to run client applications in a network fault-tolerant environment. The network segment contains 3 application servers, one of which combines the role of a farm controller. The farm controller contains information about the availability of application servers and a list of infobases. A farm deployment plan consists of the following steps: unpacking and installing server farm applications on each application server, setting up a farm controller, adding farm controller access rules to the Windows firewall, setting up application servers, adding application servers access rules to the Windows firewall, setting up the farm manager, authorizing application servers in a farm, unpacking and installing server farm applications on each application server. Unpack the server farm setup archive and run the installation on all servers. Server 1 will be the farm controller at the same time as the application server. On servers 2 and 3, remove the farm controller and manager shortcuts. Setting up a farm controller. On server 1, configure and run the farm controller. We skip the firewall messages, click Cancel, due to the fact that it is proposed to create an access rule for the application. Later, we will configure the controller as a service and this rule will not be able to apply to the service. We will configure the access rules ourselves later. In the controller settings, set the start type service. Close and relaunch the farm controller application. In the Service Manager menu, install and start the service. Add rules on application server 1 to access farm settings for application servers. The rule is created for the protocol TCP 34001. Address range from 91 to 93. The farm controller can operate both in application mode and in service mode, therefore, when creating a rule, do not specify an application. Adding farm controller access rules to the Windows firewall. Go to the Firewall Management console and create an incoming access rule for the TCP protocol, the addresses of the application servers, from 91 to 93. Setting up an application servers. Address: 91 for App Server 1, 92 for App Server 2, 93 for App Server 3. Port 35001. Startup mode, service. Controller address 91. Controller port 34001. Read key taken from the farm controller settings. We skip the firewall messages, click Cancel, due to the fact that it is proposed to create an access rule for the application. Later, we will configure the application server as a service, and this rule will not be able to apply to the service. We will configure the access rules ourselves later. In the application server settings, set server address 91, startup type service, controller address 91, read key. Copy from the controller settings. This key authorizes the access of the current application server to the farm controller to read the farm parameters. Close and restart the application server. In the Service Manager menu, install and start the service. Adding application server's access rules to the Windows firewall. Add rules on 91, 92, 93 to access application server for client applications. The rule is created for the protocol TCP address range from 1 to 255. The application server can operate both in application mode and in service mode, therefore, when creating a rule, do not specify an application. Go into the Firewall Management console and create an incoming access rule for the TCP protocol, port 35001 for all external addresses. Access for client applications. On other servers, similar settings were made by entering the current server address in the application server parameters. For server 2, we will leave the launch type application. For server 3, set the startup type service. The configuration of the application servers is now complete. Setting up the farm manager. Controller address 91. Controller port 34001. Write key. Taken from the farm controller settings. Start the farm manager. In the controller menu, sets the parameters for the farm controller. Restart the farm manager. The farm manager is now ready to add farm settings. Authorizing application servers in a farm. For the application server to work as a part of the farm, it must be authorized. In the farm manager, all application servers are listed in the server list. In the servers menu, fill in all the application servers in the farm. After some time, 1 minute, the status of the farm servers will change. The value in the power column will change from off to on. Server configuration is completed. Everything is ready to add infobases and work. As a side note, application servers 1 and 3 are configured as a service, application server 2 as an application, i.e. closing the application on server 2 will stop it working in the farm. Let's close the application server 2 and see how its status changes in the farm manager. The power value has changed from on to off. Let's start the application server 2 again. Turn off the computer with application server 3 and see how its status changes in the farm manager. The power value has changed from on to off. Let's boot the computer with the application server 3. In this video, you set up a server farm and configured servers to run your application in a fault-tolerant environment. Thanks for using the program.